Hey everyone, Ben here, and what a race we've got on our hands. We're at Silverstone in the F4 on iRacing, and we've qualified 10th of a grid of 17. But this is one of those races where the fortunes of many drivers are going to be shaped by a significant on-track incident. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about when we get there. But for now, we're on the grid, we're waiting for the start lights, and I'm anticipating a very busy first lap here. The corners very wide, multiple lines through them, all sorts of opportunities for side-by-side action, but we are underway. Green lights now. We get a decent get away from the line. We've got the inside line for the very fast T1 right-hander coming up here. We just take it nice and gentle. I'm not sure if anybody's on our outside. It's the easiest thing in the world to understeer into another car. We're just about past Samuel Marr on our outside, and we get the next corner nicely spotted too. I think we're clear on our inside again, so I'm just going to take it nice and easy. Cold tyres, cold brakes as ever in iRacing on lap 1, so very easy to lose the car through that opening complex. But we've managed, I think, to gain 2 positions out of the starting gates there, so that is not a bad start whatsoever. But look up ahead and you've got cars going side by side as we again spot our braking. Big lockup from Alapide up ahead of us there. We just now going to have to be patient behind him, carrying much more speed through the long right-hander here as we get ready for the old pit straight. I'm not going to be close enough to make a move side by side down the straight, but I will be in his draft. We've got a little bit of a gap back to Marr behind us, so it's Alapide up ahead, then Mistretta, then Coles. Ourselves, I think, running in 8th position again, just taking it a little bit tentative on lap 1 through the very fast right-hander there as we get ready for the Maggots and Beckett's complex. Very high speed, cars side by side through here on lap 1. Surely this can't end well, as we're perhaps 3 wide up ahead. We just decide against going side by side with Alapide through the second part of the complex. You can see everybody though seems to have made it through in one piece. Unbelievable as the cars fan out down the hangar straight as we get ready for the final sector of the lap. Still side by side up ahead. I'm just bracing myself for an accident here, that something is going to go wrong. We take to the inside line, but we're going to get cut off just by Alapide. But in fairness, he does very well not to chop right the way across our nose. He's taking a slightly defensive line into the corner. We are going to let the car run, take the wider line, but I'm not going to be able to hold it side by side. I have to give him that position back. We've now got Paul Napton interested behind us, but I'm going to consolidate 8th position as we come down the start-finish straight for the end of lap 1, and that has been a very successful opening lap, and really great credit to everybody on the grid for managing to race so closely through that opening lap. We fast forwarded onto the beginning of lap 3. Alapide is locked up, as did Mistretta up ahead of him there, into the right-hander. That might give us an opportunity as we head onto the first big straight of this lap at Silverstone. You can see cars still fighting with each other up ahead. The pack still relatively close together after 2 and a bit racing laps of this race. We're now coming towards the braking zone once again. It looks like we're not going to be close enough, but we do squeeze right in through the braking zone. I very nearly get caught out by the closing speeds there, and as we're coming through the right-hander, it looks like there's been an incident. There's a car off to the left-hand side, another one off to the right-hand side. Oh my goodness, he's come right the way back across the track, and I just about avoid the melee that then ensues. I'm off onto the gravel, trying to keep the car under control. We just about managed to. I'm going to be able to rejoin, and I don't think I've got any damage, but we lose a few positions there. That was hugely scary as accident after accident followed. Another car off to the left hand side there. We've now got 2 cars running slow up ahead of us. Maybe they're spending a penalty, maybe they got caught out on the car on the left hand side. We take 1 position back straight away, and we're now slotting in behind Diaz with Sau behind us. My goodness me, that could have been game over for us there as those accidents unfolded on the old pit straight. What happened then? Well, this then is the beginning of the accident. A simple mistake from Renard. He then gets tagged by Javier Caceres coming round. Let's take another look at that, because Caceres is going to be pivotal then in what unfolds. He's lost control of the car. He can't get it slowed down. He comes ploughing across the track, and he ends up colliding with another driver, and then very nearly picks up more cars. It's Mistretta who ends up getting caught by Caceres, but we're on board here with Alapide, who's got a great vantage point of what's about to take place, but he can't avoid Mistretta, who is stricken across the track. But there was another car involved as well. Remember, we saw the Williams driver off to the left-hand side through the right-hander there. That's because he got some front wing damage. He looks like he's gotten away with it, made up all sorts of places, but his car is undrivable. And if that needed confirmation, look, after he resumed on track through Maggots and Becketts, he loses it again, and Coles would have to take to the pit lane, so his race ruined as well. That is how close we came to getting collected in that secondary accident. And here it is again, one final time from our on board. We just take a last minute call to open the steering. I've then got to be so careful not to lose the car as we head into the gravel. So a huge accident, all from one simple mistake. We rejoin though just a couple of laps later, and I am all over the back of Diaz then, making an attack as we cross the start finish line once again to try and get up into 5th position. So we're running in 6th at the moment. We're side by side into T1. I just don't have the pace, as I can't afford to understeer off into him. We're going to have to settle down there. We'll go around the outside into the right-hander there. Try the switchback manoeuvre as he defended very nicely on the inside. And then I'm stuck on the outside of the very tight left-hander. I've got Liam Walsh behind me just a 1/10 of a second back. So I've got to be wary of that as well. Potentially we've gotten a better drive out of that corner and onto the back straight here. In fact, we're in the draft of Diaz. It looks like we might be able to make a move down the left-hand side. I'm going to be brave here. Cut down the inside. He hasn't defended. Hope that I don't lock up the brakes, and actually we've made that pass stick. That is a very good move, and that will be us up into 5th position. So, having managed to shake off the accident that happened just a couple of laps later, now trying to make progress back through the field, and we're able to run brilliantly alongside Diaz here. Great racing, very fair competition between the two of us as we then trade switchbacks through this opening complex of corners. Never going to be able to find our way around the outside, but it does allow us to get a better exit from the corner because Diaz is pinched on the inside. Walsh behind us trying to make a move down our inside, but he just doesn't have room. And once I'm tucked into his draft, it basically then, if Diaz doesn't defend the corner is going to be mine because I've got the overspeed, I've got the bravery on the brakes, and I'm able to make the move stick. We rejoin then a good few laps later, and I've been able to drop Diaz a 1.5 seconds behind us. Samuel Mars up ahead, 2.1 seconds up the road, but I'm running fairly comfortably at this point of the race. I'm not really reeling Mar in, but I've managed to gap Diaz behind. But then we're into the final quarter of the race, and I suddenly find that I make a mistake into the left-hander, and I'm so close to losing the car. I don't know if the tyres are going off or whether I just got complacent, but that was very, very close indeed. Behind us on the road, this is how I was able to really make the gap to Diaz and Sau, because they are battling hammer and tongs for position, and this is costing them both time. But again, great racing in this F4 race here at Silverstone, as they're able to run side by side, nose to tail for many, many laps without coming together. But we're on to the final lap now. We've been able to consolidate 5th position, but what a battle for the lead. Look up ahead, this is Zong and Santo. Santo in the orange livery car, putting all kinds of pressure as he comes through to the very last corner on the very last lap of the race. They're side by side as they cross the start finish line, but Zong holds Santo off to take the race win. We managed to close in on Mar by about 1/2 second, but nothing like the amount of overspeed we'd need to be able to catch him up, so we settle for 5th position. A great result in a very eventful race, that we were able to move forward from 10th position up into the top 5, and that's actually managed to get us another good bump on our I rating, and we are now on 1990 I rating, so very, very close to the 2k mark, which I have never managed before. So there we go, a frantic race. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, check out the race that's on screen now. It's another belter. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.